Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah, hi. I think now it's better.
Yeah, yeah, you are absolutely visible now.
Okay, thank you. So I'll put it to the PowerPoint slides. God, what is this? Okay. So I will not make you, like uncomfortable by going through all the way through slides, but even I will try my best to make it interactive. And in an hour, I want you to take something from this technology. Either it is 10%, 20%, depend on the people who are listening this. So as you have heard about the name Unified Communication Collaboration, so unified itself tells like, okay, you have multiple channels to communicate, and you are basically collaborating into one single window. So that is a very simple definition I'm trying to define here itself for you. So it is going to be unified to one single platform. We will talk about what are the ways of communication we have in this corporate world, uh, by which we communicate within the organizations and to our clients, you know, and to all the stakeholders who all are working to success for any project, services, support, product, you know. Okay. So I think my introduction has already been done. So I do not need to emphasize on this page. I will move on. Okay. So, well, I mean, a bunch of people, so I will not ask you any questions as of now. So I will go ahead directly to the explaining like what UCC we are coming from. So as I was talking, it is a combination of enterprise tools, communication tools. So what are those tools? Like you have email, voicemail. I think everybody is using WhatsApp nowadays, and you have seen, uh, we used to have earlier only the messages or call. So voicemail is nothing but your message, and which is, it could be a text or it could be a voice. So this is one. Then email, you anyway you are using Gmail or so many other platforms, and then you have your calendar meetings. You have storage sharing. So these were all there already, and these were running into silos. Um, you had folder share, file share. You must have heard about. You have seen in your computer. So it was running in a silo. So now it is getting collaborate into one single window, or which you can use to deliver a project or to work with a project. So all the people who are communicating and collaborating with you, they can see all the things at one single window. So if somebody is sending an email, they can have that. If somebody is having chat, so instant messaging, all that you can have in a single window. So don't go with the line saying okay single window. You will understand gradually when I'll move on. So you have storage sharing, then you have voice telephony on IP telephony. So I will explain what IP telephony is. Multi-party calling, like you have multiple people joining, like we all join. This is also one of that. Google Meet is also one of the, example or product of UCC. And then you have IVR, interactive voice response. So we'll talk about that, what it is. Then you have reporting, recording, like you guys must be recording this session. Uh, so I will move on to another slide. So I- I'll tell you, like this is quite simple. You would know automatically where we are using this and what all things, you have already used in past. Uh, but only thing is like how we will understand and how it is being used and how we can come into this technology and do something for our future. So it is really a booming stage now of this unified communication, even though there are a lot of evolution happen in this. Anyway, so typical unified communication platform features. So um, I've just collaborated few of them. So like meeting solutions. So like audio video conference, like we are doing audio video, instant messaging, we know notifications we get presence. Like if you are chatting with somebody, like you are chatting with somebody on a WhatsApp, so you get to know this person is online. So that's all about presence. You get to know the presence of that person. Then it is quite flexible. You can have multiple applications installed into different endpoints. Endpoint is nothing but your phone, mobile phone, your computer, your any digital gadget which you're using. That is your endpoint. So it is flexible. You can have same application onto multiple things, and wherever you are, you can communicate. So if you're on a road, you are in a meeting, you're somewhere where you do not have laptop, you can use. Then it is quite in, interoperable, so that you can connect that application to other applications also. Like you can have your database, you can have your SAP, you can have your CRM tool, you can have many other you can have your development tools which you can collaborate and do something customized for your platform. Then you have, okay, so now you guys must have learned about or maybe heard about UCAS, SaaS, PaaS. So all that platform is going to the cloud side. Now in the cloud itself, we have three categories defined. One is unified communication as a service. Then we have a software as a service. Then we have a platform as a service. We will discuss about. And uh, if somebody would left with any questions, we will take it up later. So, mobile unified communication, yes, as I just told you, like, okay, mobility and flexibility is very high. You can have the applications from anywhere. Okay, so the next slide is IP telephony and contact center. So, this UCC is mainly divided into two categories. One is IP telephony and another is contact center. So IP telephony is purely enterprise telephony. So I'll give you an example. Like you are sitting in an organization, and your company could be your institute, your profit earning thing, or your NGO, or any sort of organization where you are communicating within yourself. Like you can have multiple offices. One is in Bangalore, one is in Kolkata, or one is in Pune or Delhi. So let's say you have 200 people sitting in Kolkata, 200 people in Bangalore, and so on. So how would you communicate each other? So how would you talk to each other? Wha- I have already talked about, like, what are the ways to communicate: email, voice, um, web chat, or instant messaging. So many sort of instant messagings are there, and you can share your files, you can do audio video. So that all you can do within this UCC platform, and that is called IP telephony. So don't look at the contact center, don't try to read that through, just focus on IP telephony, what I'm trying to teach you. So IP telephony is it is working on the IP suite, which you must be learning in your 10 bomb. I forgot the name of that book. I think Computer Networks there was a book. uh, so you must be learning those IEEE standards, and most of the books are all updated. Like they are talking about this SIP also, session initiation protocol, and so many standards are already been generated, which are registered through IEEE. So IP telephony is also a suite of protocols. Protocols, I hope you guys understand. This is a set of rules which are defined to communicate or to connect. So IP telephony is nothing but a suite of protocols, uh, where you have voice, video, and all that available to work upon. So when we talk about enterprise IP telephony, voice over IP, so we are only thinking towards where we are only communicating within the organizations or to your customers. We are not. Now we will switch to contact center. Contact center, you must have, so very straightforward answer is, like, you have all interacted with the contact center environment where you call to banking system. So when you pick it up a phone and dial a TFN is nothing but your toll free number, 1800 and so on. So you get a bigger menu, which is called IVR, interactive voice response. So you connect through that IVR system, and there is a flow. there is a flow of I'm going to say which menu you need to go. So somebody has defined that. So this is the thing which we work upon and design there. So at the back end, there is a system either by Avaya, Cisco, Genesis, Microsoft, Amazon Connect. There are many platforms, many products available. Uh, so any of the point, whosoever is leading this complete webinar, so stop me if any point I'm not audible. Okay. So because I'm not looking at the other screen where you all connected through Google Meet. So I'm looking at only
Yes,
this.
yes, you please continue. We
Yeah.
shall just do so.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. So banking system is one of the big example of your contact center or any like you call to railway system or airline system or uh, where multiple peoples are calling to one single TFN number, toll free number. So there must be all the people want to connect at the same time. So how these all people will connect at the same time and dial a same number? So that happens through automatic call distribution. So you get into a queue where you would be answered one after other, and there are multiple agents sitting at their end. And using this IVR and ACD, IVR is interactive voice response. So there is an IVR set there, which is entertaining you with all that menu, and then with that IVR there is a ACD. ACD is automatic call distribution. So they continue to distribute your calls to multiple different agents sitting. So this also part of UCC. So UCC has two things: IP telephony and contact center. Okay, so I will move on. I think this is a quite brief about it and very straightforward examples you have got. So this is quite evolved. I'm just like this is very basic. I'm telling you, and this has been evolved now into NLP, chatbot, voice bot. I think you guys must be giving seminars as per your curriculum. So there statement only it is taking you. And there is also a voice biometric comes in where some of the industry has already like Standard Chartered has already implemented for their credit cards. So you can speak up something and then it will judge like this is my customer and this is the person who belongs to this card. So they will let you through to the final page where you actually want to communicate. So you do not need to get into whole set of menu. Anyway, so I'll move on. Okay, so what are the benefits we see in the IP telephony? Why not we use simple phone, and why don't we, uh, Airtel cell, you can have line set of DIDs and then you can plant it. Why you want to run it through IP telephony? Why you want to have a one SIP connection or one IP line coming to your office and distribute it to multiple people? So there are certain benefits. Uh, so it straight away, cost is a big thing to say about benefit. Cost is always a benefit. Wherever it is been reduced, there is a benefit. Bigger picture is a cost because you have taken one single IP line, and then that you are distributing to multiple people. You do not need to buy a separate set of numbers. You will take a range. Either you want to give, so that depends. Like, okay, you want a specific number attached to your phone, then only you require that number. Otherwise, we can get you the non-daily number also, which is a uh, which will when you will call somebody, so it will send a main number outside. It will not tell you like what number specific to you. So with that five set of numbers, we can distribute to 500 people. Moment you will, your monthly charges are already there, which is very very minimal when you are talking or a corporate world or big organizations or even small organizations also. I'm talking more than 100 people. So IP telephony is not at all recommended for 50 people. It will unnecessarily higher their cost. Okay, so whenever you have chance, okay, so today a company started with the 50 people, but he's, he want to grow his company for 200, 500,000 people tomorrow, then definitely he will look at this sort of a solution. So, another point is remote working. In this COVID scenario, you can have your data connections, and that, because voice is over IP, and IP is nothing but your data network. You get, whenever you connect to internet, you get one IP, which is data network, and on that you are flowing your voice. So you're sitting in your home and you connected through internet, you got the IP. Now you have your application installed, anything either from Cisco, Avaya, or Microsoft Teams, or you name it, any other endpoint, and then you are communicating with your office or colleagues or your stakeholders, right? So remote working is one of that great advantage. Then I said, like, okay, 50 people started and you want to grow 1,000, so it is scalable. And in this cloud world, you will pay only for your um per user basis. Like today you have 500 users, tomorrow you have 450 users, so you'll be paying only 450 users, so it is scalable. So like, uh, you must have seen like Flipkart or Amazon. How come these people are able to have this much of people at the time of their sales? Because they are all on cloud. So whenever they have sale coming, so they increase their resources, so the hits will come more, the people will be communicating more, so they increase there, and so time to time they can scale it and they can decrease it. Okay. And yes, definitely it is easy to configure it, settle it, implement it, now the another, which I was discussing, contact center, which is a mix of IVR and ACD. Why I'm writing IVR and ACD only, because it is two bigger terms you will always hear about when you will talk about contact center. But there are other terms also, like CRM, um, database, and so many other adjuncts which get connect to this. Okay, and then reporting, and then workforce management. So there is lot. I mean, the contact center is a quite bigger picture. I mean, so take 70% of area of UCC. So, so like in this diagram, what I'm trying to show, like, you look at the agent. Agent is having a desktop and he's serving you with his desktop and phone. Now he is connecting to PBX. PBX is nothing but your PSTN network, which is installed in your company, or it could be on cloud. Then you have ACD, then you have IVR. So IVR and ACD are talking to each other. Then you have a customer database also, because when somebody call you, so he will get a authorization, like, okay, he will enter some numbers to get it authorized himself. Like, uh, system will ask him, like, okay, you dial this number, so it will go and check that database and pull that information, and automatically once the call will land to the agent would have all the information ready. Then you have analytics at the right hand top. What all happening with that ACD. I'm saying, who which agent is free, which agent is not working, which agent is taking more time, which agent is doing a lot of hiccups in talking. So immediately it will transfer that call to another agent. So uh, so there is a CSAT around it. I would say there is a survey around it, like, on that basis that analytics happen. Then the supervisors and so on, their managers, look at it, and on that basis they rate the people, rate the agents. Are they good in this, are they good in that? Then they accordingly shift the people, and they train the people. So uh, I think this is good enough to understand at this point, because you can, I mean, these are the areas I'm throwing to you, where you can research, you can do your google it, and then find it out and prepare something for your seminar, so that once you will be ready uh, to do a job after 3 years, so then okay, which area you have the interest, or which technology you are liking it. Okay, so I'm going to show you now products of UCC. So what all, because there are companies who are serving this UCC platforms. So one of that big name is Microsoft M365, which is having lot of different adjuncts in it. I'm just naming it Microsoft 365, but there are a lot of things behind this. The another name is Genesys. It is one of the big company in the contact center space. Then you have Avaya. I'm sorry to say, like, I'm not sequencing it who is bigger and who is smaller. I'm just randomly taken. So don't assume, okay, Genesys is bigger than Avaya or Avaya is smaller than Microsoft. Okay. Then you have another company, Amazon Connect. Then you have another company, Cisco, which is very renowned and very well known company in the data networks. Then you have Nice, and there are many more. I'm naming only few of them, like which are running in the market very aggressively, and they are providing the unified communication collaboration products. Okay, so every company has their own certifications. Microsoft has tons of certifications in it. Genesis also has it. Avaya also has it. Amazon Connect also has it. And then Cisco is very well known for having certifications. Okay, so now I will take one product and we'll discuss about what the things we have related to UCC and how they are serving this world. So this is UCC using M365, which is nothing but Microsoft 365. Earlier we were used to call O365, it's Office 365, which is a bunch of like Word, Excel, and all that also comes in place. But along with that, you have your Outlook emails. There is a Earlier we used to have big Exchange servers sitting in on premises. Now it is all cloud. So we used to call it. I'm say like Microsoft is pushing this word M365. Nobody want to say O365 now. It is been renamed to M365. Okay, so what do we have in it? Like Exchange Online, which is like all the things are on the cloud. You can pay them whatever you're using. Like today you had 1,000 users, you pay for 1,000 users. Tomorrow you have 1,200 users, you had 200 extra users, and then you start working in. So there is no server or hardware footprints in your company. So all that email and instant messaging is getting resolved by Exchange Online. Now you have PSTN transformation. So PSTN transformation is uh, Microsoft is providing a tool called MS Teams, which is allowing you to dial to mobile, dial to PSTN number, dial to outside world, not only data to data. Data to data meaning like earlier you must have seen Skype. Skype is something like you call one computer to another computer or to one user of Skype to another user of Skype. Then they introduce PSTN calling in that, meaning they have a capability to dial outside word. Outside word meaning PSTN word, public switch network, which is your Airtel or BSNL network or VSNL network. Okay, so people who are running into their lateral technology called Cisco, Avaya, and sort of a PBX systems, now people have started choosing the Microsoft as a one of the UCC product where they are resolving their IP telephony solutions, meaning enterprise communication are going to happen on MS Teams. So they do not need to have one hardware sitting into the, like, I have this laptop open and I used to have one phone on my desk, which I'll pick it up and dial the number. But now I can dial using the MS Team, which is nothing but a new name to the Skype. Okay, and they do have so many things added there. Now you have collaboration of audio video conferencing you can do using your MS Teams itself. It provides you like simply the Google Meet, the way we are connecting now. So one of that feature is audio video, and then you have all that SharePoint, storage, reporting, OneDrive, where you are putting your data. So let's say you are working for a project. You have 10 team, I'm say 10 to 20 people working for that project. So tomorrow you have a call happen. You take that call using MS Teams. Once you take that call through MS Teams, they have storage available in that MS Teams. So this, um, let's say I say one product name which you guys going to work. Let's say um there is a L&T project going on. Okay, so you as an IT industry working for that L&T, and you have 20 people working there, so you have a call happen, and then all that record, all that files you are sharing about the project, that you are keeping into that one Teams channel. So once you open another call, you will have all the information there. You do not need to distribute the things, or you do not need to keep sharing, sending in emails. You have everything at one place. uh, I can give you a quick look of that MS Teams, how it looks like if you have not seen it earlier. So this is how it is. So I have different projects running, like so-called GRP and so on. So I do have teams created for all those. So let's say I have a cyber security practice. So I have all the files here. Tomorrow I want to initiate a call. I will just simply meet whosoever would be there. They will all connect at a particular scheduled time. I have all the documents within this. Okay. So I say like GRP. So I say like GRP network HLD. So I know whatever happened in this, where I might not have attended some of the meetings. So I know what is the chat going, what is the files being shared, what are the meeting notes being given, what are the whiteboards being developed. So now people do not need to keep the things separated. They can have all the things at one place. So this is really a nice feature by which we are saying collaborated. Okay, coming back to the, so collaboration is done. Now you have a journaling and archiving. So whatever the emails happen, how would you store it? How would you report it? Like, okay, what has all happened? So that also, one of that journaling and archiving also comes in. Then you have a compliance recording. Let's say there is a bank, people are calling, you know, so now you want to record. So there is a compliance recording also. People can listen. I mean, so their supervisors can listen their recordings, what they're talking. If they have misused any point of time for their any financial transactions, so they have their recordings available. Okay, and that too, like video, audio, and screen share. So tomorrow they are teaching somebody to fill up a form. So they are sharing their screen and telling them, as an agent. So they can all record. As soon as they initiate the call, record will automatically start if that person is, doing some transactions into financial point. Okay, now move on to the UCC using Amazon Connect. Okay, this is very, very, I mean, these are the big names, come across in last few years, Microsoft and Amazon Connect. Earlier, earlier to this UCC, I would say the big names were Avaya, Cisco, and Genesis, even though they are also competing equally. But as I experience it, I see Amazon Connect and Microsoft are going far better, in this UCC front. So now, what special they are doing, as I was telling about IVR flows, you will call to one number and then it will start flowing into multiple areas, and then you'll start picking it up. So now it has been simplified. You don't need to be, let's say tomorrow there is a new product launch, and that company want to introduce that into your IVR system. So they have to always open a ticket and get a project on to get that IVR modified. Now it is not required. The supervisor itself can do that modification. Like today he has this product, and then he can create. So non-technical people also can do that flow creation. Okay. So that first line statement, it says like can create contact flows using graphical interface. You can just move the lines of the flows, right? Now you have historical and real-time metrics also available. So this also provides you all that call management reporting, and gives you nice dashboard so people can see and take the right decisions going forward. Then you have your chatbots, as I was talking, NLP, natural language, which is one of the big name, Amazon Lex. Lex is a application provided in cloud, by which you can create those contact flows using the natural language. So many things, WFM is workforce management. You can track your agents, you can track your customers, you can feed them. um, let's say tomorrow, yesterday somebody was asking for a mobile. So then they have a record, like this guy was interested into mobile but he did not buy. So tomorrow they can use that tracking, forecasting, like how many people came to me for mobile, or for how many people came to me for any other thing. Okay, so there are many things. So Amazon Connect is an application which is provided in Amazon Cloud, and they have full-fledged set of services. Like we were saying, we were talking about ACD, IVRs, all that they have. They have database, they have CRM, they have storage. So you have to keep on taking these services and build your Amazon Connect. Okay, so what are the big differentiators? So basically, what I have done here, I've talked about the Microsoft. I'm talking about the Amazon. I will quickly finish it off, and then I will take your questions. So anyway, you guys are if it is recording, so you can read this later also. But yes, quickly, like ease in setup, scalable hai. I mean, so you can have today 1,000 users, tomorrow you have 2,000 users. Reliable hai because this is all geographically available. So you have one center, let's say in Delhi or Bombay or San Diego or in London. So you have multiple zones available. If something happens at one place, you have another DR available, disaster recovery available. So it is reliable. So you do not need to be like, okay, tomorrow you have some mishap happen or natural disaster happen in company. Uh, so your all the data is lost, or you are not able to connect for that say 10 days because your server rooms are occupied with water or something. Uh, so you have another. So it is all on cloud. I think you know better. You have heard about or learned about in your MCA curriculum. So open platform, you can easy to integrate with other things also. So there is no hard and fast. Okay, this technology can only be, or I have only Microsoft can connect, or not Avaya, or this all can interoperable. So pricing, as I said, like uh, minimum monthly fee there is, and then installation charges, or if you have people or resource or capability to get that or set it up, then you set it up your own and then take those services. So you do not have any footprint left, hardware footprint left in your company. So you're saving electricity, you're saving the people's cost to manage that hardware, and you do not need to upgrade because at Amazon itself upgrading. And same thing happened in the Microsoft. And I'm not saying like Avaya, Genesis are not providing cloud services. They also have cloud services. Okay, so these are the some names like to whom they have partnered for CRM, and WFM analytics. So whatever technology they do not have, they partnered with other, and they asked them, okay, come to the cloud and we will do a venture together and we'll provide the services. Now, what is that business value? I think I have already explained like how it is generating a business value by talking about the cost and ease in managing, scaling, reducing the hardware footprints from your company. So these all generate a business value to you. And the bigger point, the third point, if you see the 99% availability, you must have heard like, okay, technology to down jata hi hai, but I want to say there is always a leakage happen, or something happen, and which actually servers are down or something is down, due to which you're not able to connect. So now it has reduced or made it available to 99.5%. So now I will talk about like I don't know how much it will be relevant, but some people who are really understand and want to understand, that would make more sense to them. So this is a kind of I'm taking a present architecture of Amazon Connect. I'm saying without Amazon Connect. Sorry. So at the left hand side, you see this is all your company and client or remote infrastructure. Enterprise users are sitting in the company. Enterprise users are nothing but your people who are working. for that client or for that company, man, I mean resources. So now you have home users also. WFH is your work from home users. Then you have WFH agents who are working from home. So they all are connected through internet VPN, and they are connecting to the customer network, and they are, so I'm showing here that AWS, which is Amazon again. So they are using so far Amazon data network for some of the things. And so this is a kind of a hybrid network as of today. Now in the next slide, I will introduce a Amazon Connect, which is all together for UCC, voice, unified communication. So data network, you all know, you must have, learning about data network. So it is a hybrid network where customer is using AWS also. Some of the things he is storing on the or utilizing from the AWS, and they do have something in their premises also, like router is there and so many other things. Okay, now we have a setup of Avaya or Cisco telephony here, and these are the people, customer client, and then office users who are on traveling, meaning they are roadside warriors. So, and we do have some ODC. ODC is nothing but your offshore development center. Like we have a client in US or UK or in any other country, but we are taking that work. We are bringing that work to India. So like all these companies, Infosys, TCS, Mphasis, these all IT companies which you see in this world, what they do, they bring the jobs to India and develop a ODC. ODC is offshore development center. So onshore is at the client end and offshore is at the India. Uh, some people will understand like ODC is where we have a lot of restrictions. People can go into that ODC by swiping the cards, and so I'm talking in general. Okay, I'm not talking only for the restricted areas. I'm talking in general. So ODC also people connecting. They are they have calls coming through this PSTN and then traveling through internet and to their agent clients. This client, like this is a web client, for Avaya. So this is one, this is one, this is one. So three set of people I have shown here. Three set of people I have shown here. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Six set of people are connecting or calling using this telco network, and that if it is coming to within the company, then it is passing through Avaya or Cisco telephony gateway circuits. Now this all network, I mean this specifically this network, I will switch it to Amazon Connect. So this we are going to introduce where they have set of this is under the VPC. Uh, don't stress your brain, like you don't need to remember any of the things. It's all about your interest. You would get a lot of information on internet, and you can choose any of the area for your seminars so that you can develop more knowledge around it. So we were talking about the workforce management. They are collaborated with this recordings. They have S3 storage. They have AWS Connect, which is Amazon Connect. So call flows you're developing here. You have monitoring tools where you can monitor the systems, like okay, this is and them names, Lambda, Flex. So these are very S3 storage. So many different names. Uh, so AWS, I mean, say, Amazon is famous for naming them very differently. Like you must have seen in Android world, when the operating system launched Marshmallow or so on. Uh, I even don't remember those operating system names. So they were, I think, mostly they were kept to remember it properly. So okay, so this we are introducing, and we will put into that earlier. So here we have put it everything on the cloud, by which we have all the things accommodated related to that UCC. Now I know this diagram will looks to be similar, uh, but we have removed the Avaya setup from here. We do not need that because we are putting everything into cloud using the Amazon Connect. So now The endpoints are same, you know. Now they have started using the AWS services. So these are the ODC agents. Now you have your office users which are on travel. Now you have enterprise users, and similarly, I forgot. This is your WFH agent. So all the people are same, and the things are little change to the AWS Connect. So why we have done that? Because we have completely removed the uh, hardware footprints from our company, and now we have increased the reliability and availability of the network, availability of the services, because it's running on cloud and it is already distributed to whole world. So if one set of servers in the cloud goes down, so they have another set of servers which they will switch themselves. We do not need. So we have cut down a lot of jobs also, and we are paying only for those services for which we want it. We do not need to own a complete software to have that license and then hardware and the data connections and then so on. No, I'll move. So this is the flow of call which people I was talking, like non-technical users can, make the changes. So like they will just move this line to here or there, and they can change it. So non-technical people can also, non-technical supervisors can also change on demand their IVR menus. So today they have a new product launch. I know that daily they are not launching new product, but there are industries where they have a new, let's say Flipkart or Amazon or Big Basket, or these people keep on throwing something every second hour. So they want their customers to hear that all when they are hitting to them through the this TFNs or anything. Okay. So here I was talking about, you remember, like we were talking about the IaaS and PaaS and SaaS. So this is to give you a quick view, like what do we have in the cloud and how the cloud is distributed. So are we taking only the infrastructure as a service? Are we taking platform as a service, or we are taking SaaS, software as a service? So this is the quick difference. On premises, all the things running in on premises, you manage. Now infrastructure, you put it onto the cloud, and I'm sorry, this is your uh, infrastructure which is managed by cloud people. Cloud people meaning either Amazon or Google or Microsoft Azure. So there are three big players in the cloud: Azure, um, and your cloud sorry Azure is from Microsoft, and Google is Google. Then you have Amazon. So these three are the big players, but there are others also. So like virtualization, server, storage, networking are all managed by them, and you have your services or applications to manage. So this is all hybrid. This is again hybrid. This is again hybrid because hardware is with you, software you have put it on. So platform as a service, now applications and data you are managing. Runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, some of the more things you have put it on cloud. I'll stay for a second here and then I'll move if anybody is looking at the screen. Hope you guys are noting down your questions. So I'm now moving into question section. So this is another last, I think, I wanted to talk about. This, talks about like what are the SaaS enablement, PaaS in management, and I. So some of you are developers and want to pursue in development. So you must have heard like GitHub, GitLab, Kubernetes, Docker. So these are the platform as a service kind of a thing. Now you have IaaS, so then this KVM, OpenText, OpenStack. These are the product names basically, just to give you a reference. Like SaaS, so like Verizon. So okay, okay, that's it. I think we are able to finish before 10 minutes. Now I will switch it to your. I'll stop sharing. Okay.
Okay. Uh, yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Goel.
Yeah,
It's a wonderful speech we had from Mr. Goel. Thanks once again. Uh, mm, Students, if you have any question, any query on him, on his stocks, if you can proceed. Means it's the time for you to ask any question from sir. You can use his
I'm going to
expertise.
say you can ask anything related to technology,
Yeah, yeah.
related to your future, like what is that future you have in UCC, and how you can get into this. What all certifications you may need to do prior to coming to this, I can discuss about.
Well, students, if anyone of you is having any query, you may ask. It's the time for you to ask.
Anybody can raise their hands and then we can take that question, or if anybody is trying to type, we can take here. And you can also connect with me. I'm to say whenever you need. I'm open to help you to get your upcoming career defined.
Well, sir, I think students need some more time to work on this, and they need some more time to understand all these things. So,
Yeah.
students, you are always advised to, if you are interested in this UCC field, of course, you should be interested like this. Okay, if you have any question in this UCC field, you may ask sir. Uh, any question, sir? Will you please provide your mail ID? Means anything, so that students means.
Well, the whole world is connecting on WhatsApp nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can, okay, fine. I can write it down my email ID. Okay, this is my, oh, sorry, this is wrong. Just a second. You can put
Well,
up a email and then further we can discuss on phone also once you would like to.
Well, students, sir has given a lot of means a big opportunity to you that you may ask any question from him anytime. Means you please send him a mail. I think that will be much better for him also to communicate with you. You put on your queries over there. Sir will be answering you shortly, right? Well, thanks again, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful, variable, and energetic speech. Thanks all professors of MCA, HOD including all students too. Now like to call upon Mr. Anupam Vaidya to deliver his Thanksgiving speech. Thank you, Anupam sir and Goel sir. I'm just leaving off.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
A very good
Have a
afternoon,
nice day.
everyone, to the one and all present here. Honorable Speaker, Mr. Ankit Goel, respected HOD Dr. Pavitra Kumar Dev, distinct colleagues, and my dear students. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank you all on behalf of the MCA Department of Dr. B.C. Roy Engineering College. I'd like to express my gratitude to Mr. Ankit Goel for his presence and contribution to make this webinar a great success. Today's speaker gave deep insights into the topic Unified Communication Collaboration, that is UCC. He explained the benefits of VoIP technology, how contact center works, products of UCC using Amazon Connect and IPCC features, about business value, architecture of Amazon Connect, and also revealed some interesting facts. The point where Mr. Ankit Goel told us about the M36 365 was really informative. I'm pretty sure the precious knowledge that Mr. Ankit Goel delivered us will definitely help our students in their studies and future research. So once again, I extend my gratitude to our honorable speaker, Mr. Ankit Goel, for giving us his valuable time in spite of his tremendous busy schedule to grace the event. Thank you for inspiring and encouraging us with your words on this special day. A special thanks to Dr. Pavitra Kumar Dev, our respected HOD, for providing immense support to make the webinar successful. I extend my gratitude to Professor Subhrangshu Chandra to host this webinar smoothly even amidst this pandemic. I must thank the organizing team for working hard for the past few days to make this webinar successful. I congratulate all the participants for their active participation. Thank you everyone once again for making it a great success. Thank you all.
And my last thanks to all the students, they they came to this seminar, and they provided their valuable time, and that's important. Thank you. Thank you all students.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Thanks. So we'll disconnect here. Thanks. Bye.
Over to Professor Subramanian Chandra.
Yeah. So for students, there is an information that your certificate link will be shared with you via WhatsApp, right? We shall share it shortly. Thank you very much. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a nice evening.